Hello, party people. I'm doing something different this week because we're joined by very special guests. This week we're joined by none other than Nick Nocturne, host of the channel Nightmind. This chat has been a long time coming, and as we've been going back and forth throughout October of this year trying to find a time that works for both of us, although for me it's been much longer. This next part is just for you, Nick. You want to hear a fun fact, Nick? We've spoken before. A long time ago. A different face. A different place. I drew a picture. This picture I sent to you over Twitter, and you responded. I then tried to ask you for an interview later on in 2017. You never responded. And now it's finally happened. You're here, on my show. As you once so eloquently put it, you've come to my house and broken my back. Well, I've got you here, now. I've broken your back and dragged you onto my show. All that's left to say is, welcome to Demasked. Welcome to Demasked. My name is Fresman, and today I'm joined by a very special guest. I'm joined by the very man himself, Nick Nocturne. Oh my God. All this time preparing, and I mess it up. Nick Nocturne of Nightmind. How's it going, Nick?
Hello. Yes, Nick Nocturne of Nightmind. It's all right. You picked it up.
I kid you not, all day I've been wandering around the house like Nick Nocturne, like trying not to flub it, and then, of course, the second we're on air.
You're quite all right. You're quite all right. Call it a slip of demonic presence.
There you go. Now, Nick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well. It's November, mid-November, which is always better. I just released a video yesterday, which is always a good feeling. Deep autumn is a lovely time for me. I always feel much better in deep autumn. It's New England. We are absolutely known for it, and rightly so. There's still some trees out there with autumn leaves hanging on. Others are very bare, and the temperature is that perfect chill where you're not going to freeze, but you will start to feel it.
See, that's where you and I differ. I prefer winter. I prefer the freeze.
You prefer the freeze. See, I can't do too cold. That's too much for me. And I need the life in nature. I need to feel something is still alive. In autumn, everything is just going to sleep. It's very calm, but the life is still there. And it is still there in winter. It's just that, it's so much harder because it's all underground, waiting for the spring.
I hate seeing that, like, the end of winter, like, oh, look, some flowers are blooming. Oh, crap, summer's coming, isn't it?
Well, that would be much more dangerous for you, right, for the summer. In New England, the summer still constitutes putting the air conditioner window units in, but it's nothing nearly as bad as other parts of the country.
Well, so I've been living here in Texas a couple of years, and I want to say about 2 years ago, we had this really deep freeze, and it happened at what might be the worst time because me and my partner were living in the middle of absolute nowhere, and it hit like somewhere in the minus temperatures. I think it was like -5 or something.
Ooh.
And my partner, I have a photo of it somewhere that I will not share due to my privacy and theirs, but of them wrapped in every blanket in the house while I'm wearing like a hoodie and jeans and laughing myself silly.
That really is insane to think about, considering that it's Texas, to have that kind of condition where it's -5. And you see somebody like that. To think you could walk outside in Texas and feel that is an anomaly.
I'm glad it doesn't seem to be happening this year because, well, I mean, we're better protected now. We're not living in the middle of absolute nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But to veer violently back on course. Now, for those of you at home that might not know, Nick here is a very much, would you call yourself a horror YouTuber?
It's hard to actually manage to say what it is that I am, even after 10 years of doing it. Uh, I guess I'd say I'm an art analyst, unfiction ambassador, horror host,
Investigator?
something. What I guess I'm sort of like a DJ for internet horror and unfiction storytelling would probably be the best way to put it.
Mm.
I'm in depth, so I can talk during the music.
I I remember finding your channel in the middle of doing like temp work, and I believe the first thing I watched was like, or not watched, I listened to it. It was unedited footage of a bear,
Hmm.
and I remember like I've got a thing about isolation. I have autophobia, the fear of total isolation, and I was working in a warehouse where in my section I was totally alone. And so your coverage, I kept like checking over my shoulders every couple minutes.
What? Oh boy, you really did it to yourself there, especially with unedited footage of a bear. Because there are some segments of that where she is totally alone, or at least you think she's alone, and she's on the run from her own doppelganger there.
Well, the worst part is I decided to like, you know what, I should probably like look at what he's covering at least at some point. And I looked down right as you're covering like the website, the browser game where you're going through the house, and it shows the guy halfway through the floor.
Oh, Ravi Radcliffe's head in the floor.
Yeah,
Or no, Ben O'Brien's head in the floor. I'm pretty sure it was.
I just remember looking down, just like, oh no, oh no.
Yeah. One of those things when it would have been better to just keep listening rather than checking the video. Mm.
Just keep my eyes shut.
Mm.
I so I've actually had a question for you regarding not only the subject matter that you've already covered, but like undoubtedly the media you consume outside of what you make for videos. Is there a horror trope, especially in online horror, that you're absolutely tired of?
Oh boy, an online horror. Well, let's see. We're pull, we're finally pulling away from it now. So this train is, and all its occupants are no longer looking at the station that it's gotten away from. But used to be for years running that analog horror consisted of some pictograms over silence, or at least some old-timey music, followed by stretches of silence with some ominous-looking figure completely deep-fried in darkness, and that was supposed to be horror. And everybody was doing it, and it was incredibly uninspiring. And is what I would say, especially when you sit back and you shake your head understanding what analog media is, and that was absolutely nothing close to it. That might be the worst offense that we've had for several years running now, is how much of analog horror absolutely is nothing close to analog media at all, or even attempting to be. So it's one of those complete mislabeling things that kind of inspired a bunch of us to find an umbrella term for what was happening in the field and realize that unfiction would work rather than everything being called analog horror or an ARG, because we had so much that was definitely in our neighborhood, but it's like, that house, you can't call that a ranch-style house. That is certainly not it. That's more like a California bungalow, but so that's what I would say. But we have really gotten away from a lot of people doing that. The inspiration is taking hold now far more than the imitation of it. And I think largely this was a case where, rather than a hoorah passion that turned the tide entirely, it's that a lot of people are sick of it. It's played out. But the good that it did for its creators who used it to get into the game, I am glad for all the good that did. but boy oh boy, could you really go into the online horror store and see 3 shelves dedicated to the same thing. And that day is now, thankfully, kind of past this.
I think the one I've getting just a tad sick of, unless it's done in like a new way, a new flavor, is the like whole they look like people but they're not actually people, and then it's some heavily photoshopped image of like a giant smile. Mandela Catalog did it very well, and there are a few and far between that have also done it exceedingly well, but once in a while it's just like, oh no, look, their eyes are slightly larger. Spooky, right?
We can find new ideas for doppelgangers, we can find new expression for them, and we can definitely find a new way to present something scary that is not a big forced smile. I agree wholeheartedly on that. That that's a little played out, to say the least. So very much concur on that point.
There was, God, there was one that you covered. I want to say, man, I can't remember the name of the series itself. Was it Spatio Omnium? I think it was the Apartments for the End of the World.
Oh my God! Thank you. Auspicio Omnium. We need more shit like Auspicio Omnium. That was a revelation. Because you know what? I love nonfiction. I love what I cover. But there are the projects where it just, yeah, this is good. This is a good project. I got plenty to say about it. Much love and praise to this creator. And there are the videos where it's like, I'm going to spend the next 3 days hammering this video out, and I don't give a fuck that I've only eaten and gone to the bathroom today as the other thing that I've done. Because I love this, I want it out the door, I can't wait to share this, it's so different. Those are the videos that I always remember. Oakburn Opus is one of those recent cases. But Auspicio Omnium, back in the day, when I found out, it's like when you find the coolest thing at the store when you're young. Like the coolest toy or the coolest video game. And on the way home, you're clutching it, and it feels like, I need to get this home. Because it's so valuable that I don't want anything to happen to it or me on the way to getting this safely within the place that it's gonna land. There are videos that feel like that, and Auspicio Omnium was one of them.
See, I think it's a different outcome of that same feeling of you see a toy you really, really, really want, and you don't have the money, and so you're stuck like at home like, oh my God, I wish I could get it. Oh no, it's right there.
But that one was different, and I wish people would remember stuff like that existed. This is the kind of thing that just makes me wish I could slosh a drink around in my hands as we talk, because it's like, this is the kind of thing that people can make. Who's out there making it? Come on. Anybody? These are the projects that remind you we are unlimited.
You heard it here first, party people. Nick Nocturne says, quote, fucking do it.
Yeah, I do. I say fucking do it. Make something weird and different. That's why Obelisk, the project that I just covered yesterday, felt so good. Because it smacks of taking a look at the analog horror scene and saying, you know what? I got an idea. Mixed with taking a look at the backroom scene and saying, you know what? I got an idea. What if we did some inspiration from both of those, but taken in a different direction and bring in an unexpected element or two? It's like, there we go. This is how it's done. This is how you make new things. Be different. Be weird. Be stylistic.
Well, that, and there's something that I wish more analog horror was good, or not even analog horror, internet horror as a whole was good at. I wish it was better at making people not scared, but uncomfortable. Like there's like the specifically your video on Auspicio Omnium. Your video is the reason that I can't watch that series.
Really? Okay. What? Explain that a little bit.
So there's a clip that you show that I believe is like the very first episode where it's playing the sort of introductory video on how the apartments function. It's like apartment number 1, I live here because I'm the smartest, and like the apartment next door has a thing that doesn't breathe and it's covered in fur. And
Hmm.
there's something about the presentation of that entire thing. It's like, boy, I love it. I am so uncomfortable. I don't want to see more.
That's the funny thing. It's actually incredible how going through the initial comments for Obelisk, so many people just straight up noping out of watching that at the time of night that I released it, and even getting some messages from people that I know who were excited that I covered it, but saying, Nick, I can't even watch this tonight. I gotta wait till morning. And I'm just sitting here like, I must be so desensitized to the actual horror of it affecting me that I just feel the just how good the hit is kind of thing. I don't know. I guess I can kind of relate it to, imagine the kind of fighter who gets in the ring and every time he gets punched really good, he laughs because it's like, holy shit, that hurt. Oh, that was so good. It's like somebody else would just be reeling from it. It's like, oh, damn. Yeah, another one. More, yeah. So it's like, I can logically understand your position there, but emotionally I can no longer relate to that. There's very little that gets me like that. Shipwrecked was the last thing to truly get me like that. Oh boy. And then as soon as I got over that shock induction of it, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna feel those chills whenever I come across the plaza. But it's like, I can work with this. And it's absolutely, I must sing the praises from the mountaintop for this project because it got to me like that. And it's still giving me the chills here and there. So,
Well, I think the one that recently caught me with that type of hit was I made the mistake of watching at least the intro to Local 58 in like about 3 a.m.
hmm
And the thing is, a lot of that presentation, while spooky, of course, it's a horror series, but a lot of the wording in the vernacular used isn't outright terrifying, but for some reason, not when it shows the like, hey, you should like kill your family if this happens. Sort like the final stage of patriotism, I think it was.
yeah, I
And
think so.
but it was when it cuts to that interruption and it just says go outside and look at the moon. And just like,
Yeah,
I'm like, I should probably stop watching this or else I'm gonna get paranoid.
yeah, yeah. Those moments with Local 58. Local 58 feels like such an anthology. And I suppose technically it is because it has its unifying factors, but the media is so different for all the portions of what it does that it gives that anthology sense. And I kind of wish there were more anthologies online in this terrain because we have that with Fake Documentary Q out of Japan. Um, and of course, we have that touch of the example coming from Local 58. It's rare that we'd get that, though. I feel like there are creators who would excel with the anthology format. But we do see different, I suppose, stories coming out of creators like Kane Pixels, who launch different stories under their channel. And that's not so much an anthology approach as it is authorship.
Well, there's a I wouldn't argue it's giant budget, but like yeah, have you ever seen the VHS films?
Oh, boy, have I. Have I seen the VHS films? I've been in Brooklyn for the Brooklyn Horror Short Film Festival for, I think, at least one premiere of one of the new VHS films under Shudder. I was there for 99 in Brooklyn Horror Short
Oh,
Film with my fiance Graphy. That was a great time.
I well, I'm so frustrated with that series. Not so much by the what's the term I'm looking for? Not by the shorts themselves, because like great people doing great work, all that good stuff. But I miss the weird mystery that surrounded like the first one, which like the why is this guy collecting all of the tapes and how do they all relate to each other? I wish that carried forward.
You mean
You
the
know,
kind of scummy darkness, seediness, underground element about it?
yeah.
I know what you mean. Because as much as I absolutely will stand out there cheerleading and applauding the return of VHS under Shutter and all its new offerings, and that this is almost a yearly thing now that we have a new VHS collection, I do miss the weird underbelly of media feeling that the first VHS film had, the first two of them. But I know what you mean, because that felt like truly having something that you should not have, which was so much of the element of the wraparound story is the idea that you should not have these tapes. Nobody should have these tapes, and there's an illegal trade for them because they're so dangerous. It's like, fuck yeah. Now I get to sit down and watch this. Oh boy.
Well, that and like you see the inside of the guy's house in the very first one, and there's like a mountain of VHS tapes. I'm like, I want to see what's on each and every one of those things.
And at the same time, you don't. Yeah, because he's laying there and you know, like, he's dead. He had an addiction to these things, hoarding them, and he died watching them. It's like, oh, that's nasty.
I mean, technically, he made his own.
Yeah, he did. He did. That's the kind of feeling that I look for so often with unfiction, at least trying to see what's out there and just hoping that somebody brings that in. It's like I consistently have a wish list, and sometimes items on the wish list get fulfilled in one way or another, or at least to some degree. But that's one of those emotions, or at least atmospheric moods, that I miss. And it's tough to find anything that gives me that. There are some people that I think will send stuff my way where they're getting that kind of vibe, but it doesn't land for me in the same sense. Because I think the approach that somebody might take is just a little too outlandish or purposely obscured, where they might have a YouTube handle where it's just a mix of letters and numbers,
Or Morse code.
or Morse code, or what have you. And it's like,
Or
sure,
binary.
or binary, God forbid. And sure, it's mysterious. It's just, does it stimulate the first VHS anthology film senses? It do not.
Now, speaking of like things that you shouldn't be viewing, there's like I'd love to get a special shout out. There's a channel called Jerry. Have you ever heard of Jerry Terry?
Jerry Terry. No.
He made a song called, and I'm quoting it direct here, "The boys are back in town, parentheses, to kill you."
Oh, yeah. No, I do know this. I know this, and it's follow-up. That's fun. Yeah.
So that, I don't know why. So the boys are back in town to kill you is one thing, but the kiss me, kill me, the way that whole video is structured, despite it being like silly and fun, is somehow deeply unsettling. Like, I wish I could get up from this desk and leave, but the video won't let me.
Well, it's that's a very common thing that's been happening in horror for a while now, which is the idea of that which is so comfortable usually and expected and known is violated in this way that you really did not see coming. And there are those who overdo it in their approach that try this online, and those who absolutely nail it. And what you're speaking about is a case where it's absolutely nailed. Because sometimes you get, like, I have an example from today, of all things.
Oh, yeah?
Which is a shock. Okay. Do you remember the song Somebody that I used to know by Gautier.
Yeah, I listened to it today.
You listened to it today? Oh boy, this is going to
Yeah.
be the perfect example. Talk about your synchronicity. Thank you. Okay. I was in Walmart. And
Okay.
over Walmart radio, this is the perfect example for you. You're walking around Walmart. You're listening to Walmart radio. You're going to hear just some standard, junky, whatever. It's pop throwaway stuff. It's like, yeah, just put this on. You're here to buy your peanut butter and grab some tire sealant and get the fuck out, you know? Whatever
Get out
it
of my
is.
store.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you're there for. But the music, the instrumental for Somebody They Used to Know by Gautier comes on. And then a different lyricist comes on, a different vocalist, talking throughout the song, singing throughout the song about how she cannot escape her anxiety and it's ruining her life.
Yep.
And I'm standing there like, what the fuck kind of take is this song? And why is it playing in a Walmart over Gautier's instrumental? What the fuck is this? I didn't expect. I just kept marveling, listening to lyrics. It's like, how is this a thing that exists being played over a Walmart radio of all things? And it was so striking. But it's that kind of thing that happens to you, where you can be in the store and be so expectant of how things go and how the mood ought to be, and then suddenly you're listening to a song from somebody who cannot escape their own mental torture. It's like, what? What the fuck? And there you go. There's comfort violation horror, or normal mundane situation violation horror, which we have had a lot of.
So there is a song out there that I accidentally... I want you to know, I found the song on accident, and it was through sort of course, poor repostings of like horror TikToks and whatever reaction, making a face at the camera, whatever the hell. Have you ever heard of the song "Oh Superman" by Laurie Anderson?
Oh yeah, oh Superman. Yeah, that's an old one.
So I what's the word I'm looking for? I like to revel in the uncomfortable, at least when it pertains to myself. If the way I look at most things, whether it be watching a movie that I find particularly uncomfortable, listening to a song that upsets me, I subscribe to the Dante's Inferno version of processing something. The only way out is down and through it. And so just the little tidbits of the song "Oh Superman" I heard made me violently uncomfortable. But then I had this follow-up thought of like, great, now I have to listen to the whole song and figure out why I'm uncomfortable. And I think I achieved an answer on accident.
What did you find?
So I made the mistake. I mentioned before, early on in this here episode, that I have autophobia. I decided to listen to the full song while sitting entirely alone in a library.
Alone in a library is a feeling all its own.
And, like, I think the part that made me more uncomfortable was that, like, I know there are other people in the building, but without getting up, I cannot confirm that they're still there.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, that song, in conjunction with the setting, makes me feel like I'm the last person on Earth.
There are songs that do that. So, you know, with your senses of pure isolation being one of the most terrifying things you can experience, if the song naturally gives that sort of feeling, then yeah, you would have hit the nail on the head, right?
Mm-hmm. That said, I haven't listened to it recently, and I totally fine with not listening to it.
It's a strange sounding song. It's very robotic in their approach that they took to it. It's an oddity of a piece. So I can understand how that can be a disquieting sort of listen.
Now, outside of Obelisk, the most recent one that you've covered, have you run into any bit of horror that has made you genuinely want to stop watching it? Like, so uncomfortable that you need to leave?
Oh man. That's tough because the only time I can really think of that ever gave me that feeling was watching Mother by Darren Aronofsky in the theater. Because there
Yeah!
was a moment in the later section of the film that was so chaotic and so horrific that it was giving me a panic attack. I left the theater. I went to the lobby to catch my breath and hold on because I realized I was empathizing far too strongly with the events and all of the power of that moment. It's like, wow, I was halfway in the sense of, and the other half going like, oh my God, wow, holy shit, is this real? I'm not faking this to myself, am I? And thinking, no, I'm not faking this to myself. I watch horror movies all the time. I'm one of the most desensitized people I know. How did that happen?
So I'm gonna make a guess at the scene,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna try my best not to spoil it for the party people at home because I I watched that movie by myself in the middle of the night,
Oh,
and
God.
I did not look away. um, did it have anything to do with a baby?
See, here's the thing. I didn't even get to the baby. People told me later about the baby.
Ah,
And I'm like, well, good fucking thing I didn't go back into that theater. Good fucking thing I didn't go
I,
back to that theater, that I left back because it was like maybe, I don't know, I guess 5 minutes beforehand, or maybe 2 minutes until that particular thing, that I just like, I tapped out. It's like, I can't handle this. This is overstim in a horror setting like I've never known. I gotta get out of here. She had to get out of there, and I had to get out of there. And then I found out about the baby. So it's like, okay, yep, I made the right call.
I I remember like death gripping my desk and then just holding on for dear life. Well, the thing is, I don't listen to a lot of like movie reviewers, and like I especially don't listen to like Metacritic or Rotten Tomatoes, that sort of thing. I do like hearing opinions, don't get me wrong, but when it's like I give this a 7 out of 10, I don't know. I don't take much stock in it. But I believe it was the YouTuber Nick Spheres that put it in perspective. It was, this film is like watching somebody else's nightmare.
Yeah. God,
And
May covered that back in the day, huh?
I heard that sentence. I'm like, I am sold.
Yeah. May was so good at introducing me to so many new things. I loved that about her.
And I will take as many steps as I can to never watch that film ever again.
Yeah.
Just I
I've never finished it. I've never finished it. The funniest thing is that I think one of the It films, I think it was chapter 1, was out at the same time. And I'm in the lobby and I'm just hanging out at the snack bar, at the concession stand. And the theater worker, she asked me, I'm just explaining. It's like I couldn't handle what I was watching. She said, "Did you just get out of It?" I'm laughing. It's like, "No, honey, I can handle It. I just got out of Mother is what I just got."
it was it was the Minions movie. I couldn't do it, man.
Yeah, it was, it I can handle all day long and laugh as I'm doing it. But Mother, no.
See, it's funny you mention It because I actually had a very interesting experience seeing the first chapter. Not for me, but out of everybody, from my mom.
Hmm.
Well, so my mom's a huge Stephen King fan,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean nowadays I am too, but I'm reading a lot of his older stuff. Um, but she's like me, where she'll read a story or watch a story multiple times over and sort of memorize everything that has occurred. And so she's read the book multiple times, and it's not like she's like, "Oh, this didn't happen in the book" or whatnot. when it gets to the end of chapter 1 and it's doing this sort of happy saccharine ending of like, oh, we'll all meet back here in 27 years and we'll fight this thing again, adventure. And I look over and my mom is in tears. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? And all she said was the words Stanley.
Oh.
Yeah. And she and the thing is, we're in the car heading home, like, what's up? What's going on? Like, because I had seen the original miniseries, but I didn't know if that was, part of, like, any of it was part of the book or anything like that. I hadn't read it up to that point. And I'm just like, what's up with Stanley? What's the deal? And my mom just goes, I can't tell you. I'm like, all right, yep.
Yeah.
Something great, I hope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But no, it's the relationship, because now we have Welcome to Derry, and Graffy, my fiance, and I have been watching Welcome to Derry, and we both agree it's like, oh boy, the Losers Club got off easy compared to these kids. These kids are taking the hits on a level that the Losers Club simply did not take in the films. And I'm just expecting by the end of the series, it's like, we're going to see it really take a beating that leaves it weakened in time for the Losers Club, aren't we? Because that's the only way you can explain what we saw in theaters versus what we're getting here. Because what we're getting here is so much nastier, meaner, traumatic, disgusting, horrible, unthinkable. It's like, yeah, that's Stephen King right there. Not that chapter 1 and 2 wasn't, but it's just that feeling of, oh no, this is the harder version.
Well, that and, like, I don't know, it seems like he's more direct right now. There's less playing with his food and just straight going for it.
Yeah, this is a mean-ass version of him. Oh, he is absolutely horrible in Welcome to Derry. And it feels a little bit truer to form, I guess, in terms of like what you expect from King material. But that's what I'm expecting, is by the end of the series, we're going to see some kind of major weakening of it that makes it make sense for later. Not that it still wasn't awful later on in chapter 1 and 2, but it's like, compared to Welcome to Derry, no. Yeah.
Either that or my theory is that that Pennywise just got complacent.
Maybe.
Just, it's really easy tricking these kids. I don't gotta try that hard.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be fun to see how this plays out. But being a Stephen King reader and watching the material is always interesting. It did strike me earlier of just how much King material we have that is adapted from his books, and just the whole run of what is good, what is great, what is glorious and legendary, what is comically bad. It really goes a whole range. And just the fact that the man is still on writing, it's, my God, to this day.
Well, even nowadays with movies coming out, like, how do I word it? A lot of times they don't mention that it's a Stephen King adaptation until it's like out, like The Running Man that just came out with Glenn Powell.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was a Stephen King story written under Richard Bachman. I know somebody's gonna mention something about that, but
yep, the Bachman books.
But like the fact that it's like, oh yeah, this, back when Arnold was in the original movie version of The Running Man, you're like, oh, this is just a fun action movie. Like, oh, this is a Stephen King thing? All right.
Yeah, you know the story about Richard Bachman, right?
I don't think I do. Or help me out here.
Okay. So Stephen King had managed to get a few hits under his belt in his career. Because he came out with Carrie, and Carrie did very well. He came out with Salem's Lot. Salem's Lot did very well. He came out with The Shining and hit the Grand Slam, and he kept on going. He kept winning to the point where he started to question whether it was his name now that was selling or his quality as a writer. It's like, can I really write? Or is it just the marketing arm absolutely killing it and people are eating it up? So he decided to start writing under a pen name, Richard Bachman, just to see, do I have the sauce or not? And sure enough, he had the sauce because Richard Bachman succeeded.
Or how much you want to bet? Like at least one person started reading like, oh, this is Stephen King. Oh yeah.
There might have been
Saw
people
through
who
it.
caught it. There might have been people back in the day who caught it, and I'm sure that there were people in the writing world who, let some in on the secret. But by and large, the public did not know until later. It was a success.
So I used to not be a fan of Stephen King. I was that kid growing up that's like, if my parents like it, it must be dumb. Like if the adults like it, whatever. And but for them it was my dad was like Star Trek and the X-Men, and then for my mom it was Stephen King, and then cut to now where I love all three of those things. and and my mom sold me on Stephen King because I was on the fence until just a couple of years ago. But my mom accidentally said the magic phrase because I love interconnected stories. I adore them. And my mom goes, "Hey, you should read The Dark Tower." And I go, "I don't know, maybe. Why?" And she goes, "Well, it connects to almost every other Stephen King story." I'm like, "Oh no."
Nah. Oh boy, what a way to get stuck inside of a 12, 13 book series, huh?
It's only 7 books, but then it's like 30 books if you count all of the references to like The Stand and Christine and From a Buick 8. I'm not gonna empty my Rolodex out on the table right now.
Yeah, I actually forgot for a moment how many are in the Dark Tower. Just I know it's like, oh boy, that's a commitment. And I've read a few of the Dark Tower. I think I've read up to 3 of them. I think I've read up to 3 of them. Oh, jeez, what are the descriptions of? Oh, I forget the little boy's name.
Jake.
Yeah, in the group that's bound together by their car. But the description of that death in the first one. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Horrible. Ugh.
I like pardon me. I'm stuck. I'm at an impasse right now because I made a deal with my partner that I unfortunately can't like go back on because it's already way too late. I finished the 5th book and then I didn't have the 6th on hand and I didn't have the money to order it. But I did have a copy of Needful Things. And I started reading Needful Things to sort of fill that void and see if there are any more connections, any more fun little tidbits. There's also a bunch of stuff in that book it's fantastic. But I then ordered the 6th book and I haven't read it, haven't even opened it. It's sitting in my entertainment center. I understand that I'm pointing and I don't have a camera on, so there's no reason for me to be, but I'm still pointing. I'm proving a point to myself. But, I have to finish Needful Things before I can read that book.
I have a copy of Mr. Mercedes that I bought a while ago on a whim because I kept thinking it would be very interesting to read a very early King novel and then check out Mr. Mercedes just as an idea of, all right, this one was really heavily marketed when it released and it's so deep into his career. It's like, what can we see in the differences between early King and current King? Like, let's check out some of The Stand and then read Mr. Mercedes. Or, well, my thinking at the time was, let's read The Stand and then read Mr. Mercedes. It's like, of course, you of all people want to go ahead and eat The Stand as your opening act of this venture. It's like, it's not my first King novel. I've read plenty King before. But it's like, just thinking about that, it's like, this is what you want to do, really? You want to eat the stand as a quick thing just to get into checking out how it compares to, say, Mr. Mercedes? It's like, yeah. So I'm only up to a certain part of the stand. And it's like, so that's the last bit of reading that I did for King, was making my way through the stand. Only a tenth through the book. And then I never picked it up again.
I unfortunately fall under that thing of hyperfixations. Like getting stuck on something, and then, but for me, it's I get stuck on something and then I absolutely have to learn everything about it.
Well, yeah, I'm the same way. I'm literally the same way about it. It's part of the reason why Nightmind was even feasible for me to do at all. Is I had the natural inclination to be this kind of person, and then carry it immediately into a video form. Hyperfixations like this are great. Then the rest of life comes knocking and asks you to do something else, which you roll your eyes. It's like, why do I got to do this pain in the ass? I'm in the middle of something I care about. Oh. But
So
you learn. You learn to balance.
So I have been curious. What started the Nightmind channel? Like you did mention just now the hyperfixation portion of it, but where was that moment of like, I need to talk at other people. I need to put my opinions out there in this grand ether of the internet.
A mix of revelation and rage, as well as inspiration and depression, because it was March of 2015. I had no idea what I was doing with my life beyond the job that I was working, and enjoying hanging out with my friend, Corey, watching Markiplier's playthrough of Five Nights 3. And knowing that I loved horror, I loved innovative ideas in the world, I loved the independent person succeeding against all odds and absolutely winning under their own power. And I loved the secret story, explore it and discover things and put the pieces together aspects of the Five Nights story. And at the time, of course, everybody and their mother was already starting coverage of that angle of it, and had been since the first Five Nights, which helped popularize it even further than it was already popular. But by Five Nights 3, between Scott Cawthon using the website and the games, and secret aspects of games within the games, it was so evident that independent online mystery storytelling was back in very strong form. And that was kind of the only area where people who were interested in that were looking at it. They were not talking about ARG. The rest of the internet horror landscape in 2014 through 2015, and a lot of 2016 still, was very much creepypasta narration, list videos, and horror movie and horror game reviews. When it came to Five Nights, that was a breakthrough moment for several reasons, but one of them that is pertinent to Nightmind and the ARG on fiction space was because it got people thinking about this idea again, celebrating it, and then dedicating their time to videos and watching it. So, as much as I was absolutely loving Five Nights 3, and I was as gripped as everybody else, it dawned on me that this was the only terrain where this was happening. Five Nights 3 was really, like, the only thing. And I thought, man, the rest of what's happening out here is everybody trying to get on the creepypasta train and ride it to the mountaintop when that oil field has already been drilled. I drink your milkshake. Whole lot of milkshake drinking had already been going on. It's like, there's no more milkshake, guys, unless you actually love this. And I see a whole lot of people out here with their straws because they wanted milkshake and they didn't actually enjoy the restaurant. A lot of the people here enjoy the restaurant, but you came for the milkshake. And it's very evident looking that back in time. And it pissed me off. It pissed me off that that was the dominance of the field. It made me very mad thinking about how projects like Marble Hornets, who were such a Scott Cawthon case of, we were just guys who had a great idea, loved what we did, and put it out there, and it exploded, and they got no roses, no crowns, no awards, no critical analysis for everything that they did. And they had done it before Scott Cawthon came along with Five Nights, and they had done it longer. That was a longer effort, and it was so multi-layered, and nobody had come along to celebrate that. And I even looked up at the time, it's like ARG. It's like there was one video I could find of an actual, like, talking about ARG, and it wasn't even truly in depth. Nobody had talked about the Cloverfield game. Nobody was really talking about the Dark Knight ARG. Nobody was really talking about a whole bunch of what I knew had existed in the space. But Marble Hornets especially had no roses. And it just really struck me. It's just, okay. This is not okay. You noticed it. Nobody is doing anything about it. So guess what? I was standing in my kitchen at the time. I remember it so vividly, just walking around having this conversation with myself. And it's just like, you're the one who noticed it. So the job goes to you. If you want to see this change, you need to do it. And it's like, well, I'm not doing any fucking thing else right now. And I am inspired, and I think this deserves to exist. Somebody needs to talk about this. Because right now, everybody's doing the same thing. And Scott Cawthon deserves his love and appreciation, and so does Five Nights. But everybody was already doing that. Everybody was already doing creepypasta. Everybody was already doing film and horror game reviews. Nobody was doing this, though. So it's like, it's time. Let's get up and go. So I embarked on the study of Marble Hornets. I would watch the videos with a notebook, and I would write things down in the notebook. I would take it to work with me. I would think about what I saw. I would go over my notes. I would really go through the story and ask myself what I was thinking and feeling, and write down notes for myself to go back with. I was working on it in any capacity that I could as I built the thing along. And then it came to a point of, like, okay, how do you present your findings? Do you make a blog? Do you make a website? Do you write this out? And it's just like, there was something that felt immediately wrong about that. It's like, that ain't right. It's just, that would be a long effort. I don't think anybody would care either. I think they'd look at the wall of text and just go, no, and they'd miss out on it. And it's like, this is a video experience. I think you have to make a video. I don't think you can get away with making this kind of thing without literally showing the portions of the video. And it's like, I'd been watching a lot of YouTube. I was watching Corey Kenshin. Shout out to the OG Samurai. Back when he was around 23,000 subs, still living with his parents on the way up to the dream. OG Samurai, clap it up in the comments if you're listening, because I was one of them. I was watching John Wolfe. I was watching Chris Stuckman. And I was watching Webcomic Relief. My buddy Riser of the Webcomic Relief. And I think Webcomic Relief was really just the thing that kept tapping me on the head. It's like, that's the way you want to go about this, if you want to go about this. That mixed with all the years being raised on, like, Discovery Channel, Cold Case, Murder Mysteries, you know, stuff like that. And the idea a little bit of, like, Twilight Zone. It was percolating into this weird mixture of influences all across my life. And so much of hearing voices on the radio that were very strong and very powerful. And it's like, we're going to do this the video way. And I don't know how to make videos. I don't know how to use these programs in the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite. But I have access to the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite, and I have for years. I'm still paying for it even when I'm not using it. There are tutorials for everything. I have a PC that can do this. So I guess we're going to do this. So I went the video path, and everybody knows how it happened from there. And that's why I tell everybody over the years who have come to me asking, I want to make a YouTube video, or I want to make a YouTube channel, but I don't know what to do. And I tell them, make what's missing that you want to see. Because if it's missing and you want to see it, you're not the only one who wants to see it. and it's missing, so somebody has to make it. You can be that person. That's how it worked out for me. And I did not put expectations on it. I had no idea if this was going to succeed or not. I just knew that if it was to be successful in any measure, then I had to learn the lesson from Thack themselves. Because they had no conception of what this was going to do for them or not. They just made something that they cared about, that they were very passionate about, as much as they loved it, and it blew up. So it's like, this is how you're going to do it then. You're going to follow their example. And if there's ever going to be anything out of it for you in any way, that has to be the way it happens. You cannot think about it. It cannot be in the room with you. You're going to make this because you love it and because you know it to be right. And lo and behold, something in my life that I was super passionate about and worked very hard on succeeded at last, because I dropped the expectations and I did it out of the love and passion to the best of my ability, and it blew up. And I got a 10-year career out of it, and I'm still going.
See, and I think that there's another step that I think stops a lot of people right out of the gate, and it almost stops me from making my channel in the first place, which is, what if it sucks? And you know what? It probably will. Who knows?
At
you
the
don't
start,
know unless
yeah.
you try.
Yeah, at the start, because as much as people still say it wasn't that bad, but other people, I tip my hat to them and I raise a drink who say it in the comments like, man, the difference between Nick's voice now versus back then, it's like, yes, I know, because I was a little kitten, barely learning how to waddle my way into the studio and make these videos, and it's just like, I listen to myself, I was like, oh kid, the things I could teach you now. Imagine the power scaling if I came in at level 1 like this right now, doing Marble Hornets Explain back in the day. Jesus. Oh. But yeah, at the start, you're gonna suck. It's gonna be whatever it's gonna be. But if you lean in on the effort and you truly embrace what you can do to the best of your ability and keep progressing, and you love the process for all the moments that it teaches you where you went wrong or not, you get better and things get good.
Well, like, but before I even started my channel, I put off doing, like, not even the show, just making a YouTube channel. I put it off for like a year, because every time I'd get sort of that feeling of like, yeah, I should do something like that, and then I'd get that sort of doubt in the back of my head, and like, oh, it's gonna suck, nobody's gonna watch it, who cares? And it took me making my first mask that I'm like, all right, I've got this thing, I know what I want to look like, I know at least some vague idea of how I want to present myself. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's going to watch this. Is dumb. And this sort of, the reverse of that
shame
popped into the back of my head of like, why the fuck not?
There you go.
You're not even going to try? Come on, man. Like, at least put your foot down and try. If it sucks, it sucks. Just go. Figure it out.
Yeah, because what it comes down to that a lot of people can't get around to is straight up, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Because you keep on coming into this circle of what it is that you want to do. It keeps coming up to you in your soul, from your soul, for a reason. And then you keep talking yourself out of it because of all the potential negatives while you won't look at the potential positives. It's like, whose life is it anyway? What do you want to do? And then see what it is. Fuck the negativity. The lower ego does not get a say in the process. You will not have fun if you drag it into the room and let it drive. Tell it to get in the back of the fucking car while you drive where you want to go, and then maybe it can be pleasantly surprised while you're overjoyed. That's how people need to see things. Because amazing shit can happen. And even if amazing shit doesn't happen, it's like the candy bowl. It's like, I keep looking at it, it's like whether you made it or not, whether you start a career in film from this or not, did you discover something about your own ability as a human being and the fulfillment of something that you wanted to do and experience because you said yes? Then that is the victory. That's the victory. You said yes to the thing you wanted to do, and then you got to do it. That's amazing. Good. And sometimes people end up on Halloween night in the compilation. Look at that, where they'd never tried it before.
So, Nick, there in that vein, there is something I must admit to you in that vein of pursuing your goals.
Mm-hmm.
So, I started this channel back in 2017, and Demasked wasn't a thing until I want to say either later that year or early 2018. And the whole premise of this show is to talk to other people that make YouTube content and sort of getting to know them better, and just getting to know the person behind the videos, behind their personas. And Nick Nocturne, I need you to know something. You have been on my list since episode 1.
Since 2017?
Yes.
Well, congratulations. You got me. See? There we go. Case in point. And good on you for keeping up with what it is that you care to do. So let me ask you this now, as somebody else who has taken the journey, okay? No bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Person to person. Fuck my numbers. Fuck whatever internet, whatever comes around me in whatever aura. You and me, mano a mano.
Mm-hmm.
What has the journey given you?
Honestly, and I mean this with 100% sincerity, I do not do the show for the notoriety. It is strictly the people I want to talk to. There's no, oh, this person's popular, or I could gain some fame off this. Fuck that. No, this person's cool. I want to talk to this person. And that is the entire fucking premise. Like, outside of like the game stuff, like the video game videos that I do occasionally, that I haven't in a long time, unfortunately, but I genuinely enjoy the conversations that I have with people on the show. It doesn't matter who they are, what they do, what their subscriber count looks like, or who they're sponsored by. I could give less of a shit if you've taken a Raid Shadow Legends advertisement, but I have not had a single bad guest on the show. I've had ones I don't quite jive with. Sure, you can't win them all, but like the fact that I get to, like, if you would have told me that like 8 years ago, if I'd be sitting here talking to like somebody I like look up to, not again, not from a number standpoint, but like from having an idea and executing it well, and being able to sit here and shoot the shit about anything that comes to mind. And I've brought this up on past episodes, and I'll bring it up here. I do not research for this show. I do not write scripts. I do not write questions. I just talk.
And it's worked out pretty well, hasn't it?
I mean, I hope this is going well.
Well, no, see, this is the part where you tell me. In taking a look back from 2017 to now, having no expectations, doing it your way, it's worked out pretty well, hasn't it?
I'd say so. Yeah, and it, with every interview that I record, that I edit, and that I upload, it only makes me more excited for the future. Only. I like, this is something that not only do I constantly think about, it is something that very thankfully my partner has been an amazing support system in pushing me towards achieving. Because even in the moments that I doubt myself, my partner is very much that voice of, like, that same voice that I heard years ago. Why the fuck not?
Yeah. And sometimes amazing shit happens. Sometimes you
Right?
get exactly what it is that you asked for. Often we do. It's just that there's the element that people don't understand of life will say yes if you stop saying no. That's the thing that people miss. Because I've had so many things happen for me out of the blue that it's just like I wanted that years ago, and then I let it go. And it's like now it's come back in the biggest form of yes, come on board. Yes, you can. That it's like, well, there you go. It's just like, it's almost like everything that you want will come to you or open itself up to you as an opportunity in its own timeline if you stop saying no. If you stop looking at life with an aspect of, well, I can't do that, I can't, but this thing and then that, and it's like, what if I can't? That's a lot of work. It's like, no, fuck that. Clean it all away, and in just the absolute moment of the moment, it's like, what do you truly, actually, literally want? Not to be seen, not to be praised, none of that. You could even ask for that if you want, but in the moment of, what do I want? And let's see just how awesome it can be and how much I enjoy it. That's it. That's it. That's it. And then sometimes crazy things can happen. Because from 2017 to now. And then I made you wait a little bit extra even at the end. because it was autumn. Because it was autumn, and I apologize for that.
Well, no, that's the thing. That's the thing is, like, I think this interview here is the sort of culmination of that effort, because you're somebody I've wanted to talk to for a very long time, and I want you to know. So, okay, I am a persistent person, as you can tell by our email exchange. but I would send like a follow-up email, and I know life gets in the way. We're both busy, but I'm sitting there just like I'm sitting there like, oh, I'm gonna get this fucker on my show. I know I am. I just gotta wait.
yeah. And I appreciate your patience. And honestly, the follow-ups were needed because it was just a time period in which it's been a very different time period because I stepped away largely from the internet and I detoxed. And I recommend it to every single human being who has been far too much on the internet and they literally know it. Do more than touch grass. Walk on the grass.
Be
among... Not eat it. No. But be among the trees. Breathe in the air and appreciate it. Hug the tree. Observe the nature. Listen to the birds. Go sit by natural bodies of water and observe that. Be with the nature. Spend entire days where the moments that you catch yourself idly pulling out your phone for your regimented, self-indoctrinated dopamine hit of scrolling through bullshit that doesn't delight you, catch yourself in the act, say nope, and put it back in your pocket. And then get present. Take deep breaths and enjoy them. Get away from all of this, and you will realize life is better without it plugged into your entire state of being. And I am the healthiest and happiest that I have been in years for the detoxing that I have done this autumn. I didn't understand how much I needed it. There are very, very, very many people in the circuits that I have lived in and run in who don't understand how much they need this. But there are moments that they broadcast their suffering online on social media, and it's like, I know what the cure is, but they're not going to like it, especially because what they might find is something that they don't want to tell people. And that goes to the idea of streaming. But overall, it's been so good. We love our internet media. It's just that we don't understand the elements of it that are corrupting and corroding the finer nature and more of the whole nature of our being until we step away from it and experience what is natural again. And it's extremely important, especially because when you do that, it will clear up your sense of truly what do I want and what do I enjoy and what was I told that I wanted or impressed upon me that I thought I wanted that is not actually real. But that is the long form response of why was it so hard to get in touch with me this autumn. It's because I would see emails, I would nod, and I would say, I will answer that when I am feeling so good that I am able to do so. And so I did.
And then you'd see mine, and you're like, oh, it's that Fresman guy again. And delete.
And no, not delete. And I think I will answer you in short time. But right now it is October, and I am also detoxing. That is the proudest thing that I can say, especially for the people who have known who I am for years, and even just from a viewer perspective. I did a detox during October, and I still delivered October with Marble Hornets Rosswood. So, yeah. It's been a very happy
that video
time.
is spectacular, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I loved it. I loved making it. I loved going back and retrieving the origin energy of Night Mind. I love it. I've been very happy these past few months doing what I've been doing. And I do advocate for it. I advocate for everybody taking time to legitimately unplug and actually reacquaint themselves with themselves. In the absence of social media, in the absence of answering their phone or being at the desktop. I know it's cold in some areas right now, but it will still be extremely good for you. Take a drive if you need to. Take a drive and turn the radio off. Observe the nature. Just have moments of get away from everything that is grabbing your attention and allow your intention to go to how do I feel? What am I feeling? And enjoy. Get away from all this stuff and just clean your mind out. You will be surprised at what you feel. Because the first thing that you're going to feel, I think, is so much better. Period. So much better.
I think, at least personally, I think I've been very lucky to strike sort of a balance between this and what I consider, real life sort of stuff, where I tell very few people in my life that this is what I do in my spare time or that I even have a channel. And so whenever I'm away from my desk, where I'm, talking to you now, I don't really do anything regarding my channel. I don't really bring it up to anybody. I hardly ever, bother to check anything. And the joke I've been making to my partners, it's sort of like a superhero thing.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. Oh, talk about talking to a guy who McFucking gets it. Yes. Yeah. Let's see. It's been a good 10 years plus of am I Bruce Wayne Batman or am I Peter Parker Spider-Man or am I Peter Parker Batman? And it's like I'm something. Boy, do I fucking get it though. I sure do.
Well, it's funny to me because I've during the whole lockdown about 5 years ago, I made a good handful of online friends that solely call me Fresman, and a even smaller portion of them, I believe 2 people out of everybody that I've actually interviewed on the show know my real name.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm lucky, it's going to stay that way. There will be no face reveal. There will be no name reveal. Nice to meet you. I'm Fresman.
Yeah, because that belongs to you. Point blank. That's the end of the story, is that belongs to you to give or not give to any capacity that you desire it. That's your divine right as a person. You never have to do that. You know, it's like this is the distinction, and it's yours. So wherever you want to give that is up to you. You never have to. It is yours. Fresman in its entirety. The channel, the presentation, the name, it's yours. This is your art, this is your creation. So you have the totality of privilege there.
Saying, and the final stage of that is my mask is my face, and like something that was the idea from the get-go is I'm not playing a character. I'm just wearing a mask. I'm not playing anything up. I'm not acting any different than I am in real life. I am this goofy in person.
And there you go. Because you determined what it is. That is your choice of presentation and production. That is your expression. And if it feels good to you in this way, then that's your way. And some people might nudge. It's like, you ever going to do some other thing? It's like, people can offer stuff. People can offer opinions, but it's like, that's the end of it. It's like, okay, well, that's your opinion. But guess who's living this? Me. I'm the one living this. So I will consider maybe what you have to say, see if it resonates with me, and if it does not, okay, well, thanks for offering.
I'm the one wearing the cursed mask talking to the cat demon.
There you go. Yes. And I'm the cat demon talking to the one with the cursed mask. Bingo.
You know what? I did not anticipate this interview getting as philosophical as it did, but I'm incredibly happy that it did.
Thank you. There are others who might have been able to warn you about that. Is interviews with me always end up a touch on the deeper side. But then again, how is anything Nightmind not touching on deeper subjects? It's Nightmind, right?
Fair enough. Oh, and I would like to also give a special shout out to the person that recommended you to me, Something Sinister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Something Sinister is a good guy.
It's a very good people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Nick, I know you said earlier that you only got about an hour. How are we doing?
Yeah, about this point, I think this is a good time to cut it. I gotta skedaddle and get on with some other things for the night. But this has been extremely pleasant. Thank you.
Absolutely. I do have 2 very quick questions to close us out, and they're very simple ones.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, do you have a video that you are particularly fond of that you'd like to see in the description of this video?
Oh boy. Let's see. There's so many videos that I'm particularly fond of.
Say the toughest question of the night, which is your favorite?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for anybody who wants something ridiculously long, but awesome in all ways and truly inspiring, do Shipwreck 64, please. Yeah. If you're going to play us out with something in the video description, do Shipwreck 64.
Absolutely. And the second follow-up question, would you be open to returning as a return guest?
I'd be open to it. I'm living these days not really knowing exactly what my future looks like because I'm feeling it through in the ways that I'm approaching everything. So I have no idea what the circumstances would be as a potential return, but I am open to that idea.
As a schedule allowing.
As schedule permits, yes. As the life picture deems it. But I am not in any ways opposed. That is what I can say. I am not in any way opposed.
No, I'm not coming back on ever. But Nick, thank you so much for coming on. This has been an absolute blast. It's been an absolute joy talking to you.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
And with that, party people at home, if you don't know who he is already, Nick Nocturne of Nightmind, please go check out the links in the description to Nick's channel. But for the last time tonight, This has been Demasked. My name is Fresman, and I'll see all of you next time.
Good night.